Welcome to 84 TV Radio News in 1 minute. My name is Olabit Hossein. In the news today, President Joe Biden of the U.S. and his French counterpart, Emmanuel Macron, at a joint press conference in Washington, D.C., condemned the brutality of Russia's President Vladimir Putin against civilians in Ukraine and promised to jointly hold Russia accountable. Macron's visit is the first full state visit that the current U.S. president will be hosting since assuming office. Meanwhile, the planned increase to a hydrocarbon tax to be introduced in January 2023 as part of the French government environmental strategy that will push up the price of fuel, especially diesel, has brought about protests by citizens, leading to blockage of major roads in Paris. This resulted in drivers and commuters on the major road physically dragging the protesters off the roads, reasoning that protests should not lead to blockages of road as essential medical services and movement of the old could be disrupted. In West Africa, on the other hand, the president of ECOWAS Commission, Omar Alieu Touré, at the opening of the 89th ordinary session of the ECOWAS Council of Ministers meeting in Abuja, Nigeria, said the Economic Community of West African States is set to implement the Regional Action Plan to defeat terrorism and achieve economic prosperity to improve the livelihood of people in the community and foster close cooperation among member states and economic integration of the sub-region. In another vein, armed men affiliated with Ethiopia's rebel Oromo Liberation Army have been blamed for kidnapping more than a dozen staff working for the Dangote cement factory in Adaberga district west of Addis Ababa. The factory is owned by a Nigerian billionaire Aliko Dangote. On health matters, the acting director for the African Center for Disease Control, Dr. Ahmed Ogwell, in a virtual press briefing said South Korea is set to donate 50,000 doses of the monkeypox vaccine to the African Union, which will be distributed to African countries that are reporting a lot of cases and death. Out of 55 African countries, 13 are currently dealing with an active outbreak, with Nigeria as one of the most affected. This will be the first batch of vaccine African countries will use to contain the outbreak. In another development, though not related, a Tokyo court has upheld a ban on same-sex marriage in Japan, saying the ban was a violation of human rights. Japan is currently the only G7 nation that does not recognize same-sex marriage. Moving now to sports, the Atlas Lion of Morocco for the first time cruised into the round of 16 in the 2022 FIFA Football World Cup following their 2-1 win against Canada in their Thursday final group game. So far, there are 3 African teams remaining in the Mundial, while Senegal and Morocco have already qualified for the next stage of the tournament. Cameroon, the other African country, will this Friday slug it out with Brazil for qualification to the next round. For more information, visit our platform showing on the screen right now. Many thanks for watching.